Afternoon, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 10th of May, and I thought I would post another update as it's been nearly 3 months since my last one, and there's been quite a lot going on. So, I just wanted to give an update regarding some events that have taken place over the last month or two and some of the fundraising efforts that the All Pulled Together community have worked on, and I'm so thankful for. Secondly, I want to talk about how I'm getting on and some recent treatment that I received in Miami in the US, and how that's given me some renewed hope. And thirdly, just to mention kind of some of our goals and objectives for the months ahead, and some of the events that are going to be coming up, and some plans that we've got to mark International M&D Day. So starting with the events, there's been a number of events that took place in March and in April, ranging from a walk around my old stomping ground, Merley, which was a friend of mine, Ian, who walked 25 miles every single footpath and cul-de-sac and area within Merley that you could cover. Ian and some friends covered that amazingly in the day. Then my brother continued the Dribble for MND theme that we started back in October, and him and a group of 3 or 4 of his friends did a 100-mile relay, dribbling a soccer ball between them for 100 miles in just under about 16, 17 hours, I think it took them, at Matt's school in Dumpton in Wimborne. So again, an amazing effort, really well supported, lots of help from family, friends and parents of children. So a really good event that kind of went even better than expected. We've also had events run kind of by people that took it on themselves to run something and then contacted us after the event took place. So one of my wife's cousins in Omagh in Northern Ireland, Catherine, did a abseil on one of the hotels in Belfast, the Europa Hotel, which is no mean feat because it's a very, very tall building. So that took place and went really, really well, and she raised some fantastic amounts as well. We also had a local event here in Kilkenny run by the Kilkenny Hockey Club, who also followed the Dribble for MND theme and got all the boys and girls as part of that club to dribble a hockey ball for 1 kilometre and to donate money, which again was a really big success and was completely out of the blue, really, from my perspective, and something we weren't expecting. And then finally we had the first Dribble for MND dinner, dance and auction, which I was involved in organising alongside my sister-in-law Claudine, as well as obviously my wife Tasha and other people that helped out. A really brilliant event. We had 160 people turn up on the night. We had brilliant auction prizes that were so kindly donated by people. We had a brilliant raffle, live music, DJ went on till about 2 in the morning. By the looks of it, everyone had a good night. I think I was the only sober one come 2 o'clock in the morning, but it raised way in excess of what I expected, and has essentially taken our overall target for the year, or it's not even a year, it's probably sort of the last 9-10 months of fundraising, to €91,000 we've managed to raise, which is just a staggering amount of money, and I really cannot express my thanks enough to everyone who's donated or run events, and that money has helped to allow me to follow various treatment plans, one of which is or has been a trip to the US, which I've just completed. Myself and the family went over to Miami for 3 weeks to visit a place called the Body Science Lab or Body Science Clinic, which is specialising in neurology and particularly ALS, as MND is called in the US, to provide quite novel treatment and to really combine therapeutic and medical interventions with a view to slowing or reversing progression of symptoms. And they've had some amazing success of actually getting people to get better, essentially, from M&D, and really give hope that there is starting to get a really good understanding of this disease, and people are now approaching it slightly differently than perhaps it's been followed before or approached before. So the 3 weeks were great. Really nice to have lovely hot weather. I was in clinic every day, Monday to Friday, for sort of 5-6 hours. Week 1 was very much about building a foundation, so that was on an IV drip, giving me various vitamins, various minerals, antioxidants, and really just getting the body to a point where it could start to respond to treatment. Week 2 was some medical treatment. Again, I won't go into the details of the different medicines that we use, but some medical treatments that have been used in clinical trials. It was great to be able to get access to them and combine treatments rather than just having one over a long period. And then also amino acid injections, which is basically injecting amino acids straight into the muscles, into different parts of your body every day. So involved a number of injections, about 15 in each body part, which were not particularly pleasant, but again, quite a novel treatment, and combined with the other therapies have shown to have some really great success. And then the final week, we were able to avail of stem cell therapy, which was fantastic, something that I wasn't aware was available to me. So that involved me getting 12 billion stem cells injected into my spine through a lumbar puncture. And I've now got 4 to 6 months to kind of wait to see the impact that may have, with a view to going back to getting some more. So really exciting to be able to get some of that treatment. I also undertook a number of tests, which will help to identify sort of metal levels in my system, my food sensitivity, and also to identify if there's any tick-borne infections in my system, which are quite common in MND sufferers. So really starting to give a much better picture of where I'm at, what works, what doesn't work, and giving me a real sense of hope that there's actually a routine or a protocol that we can follow that is actually going to be effective in slowing or even maybe reversing my symptoms. And it was amazing to be there at the time amongst other ALS sufferers to actually see some people having some really amazing effects, where people were walking for the first time in months, or were able to improve their speech or improve their strength in their hands and their arms. And I think it's something that I strongly believe in, and I'm going to continue to avail of if I can raise the funds to do that. It's also given me a home protocol to follow, so I've got medication, injections, supplementation to follow, but at least now feel as I'm being directed by a group of individuals and scientists, doctors, nurses that have got experience of working with ALS patients and having positive impact. So excited to keep that treatment up, and it's made me really refocus on my diet. Although I was pretty good at following that, I'm now following a very strict diet. I've had to take away caffeine out of my diet, which is another of my loves that's gone out the window. I'm dairy free, gluten free, very low GI carbs, completely organic, no alcohol, no processed food. But again, this is about me keeping my body as healthy and as clean as I can, and it's a small price to pay if it's going to have any positive impact. So in a really good place now, and my focus is on how I can keep this going. How can I keep working with this clinic over a period of time? And that's going to mean more fundraising, and people have done so much already, and I don't find it easy to ask people to give more and to give more time, more money, but the fact of the matter is it's not cheap to go to the US. It's probably 40 to 50,000 euro every trip. There's also this ongoing medication which is into the thousands every month, so it's a significant amount of money that I need to raise, and that's why I need to push the fundraising more and more moving forward. There's a number of events coming up which are going to help. We've got my auntie Libby has got a golf day taking place a week on Friday. One of my friends and cousins of my wife is doing a cycle with a friend in Wales next week. He's also doing an Ironman in June. So a big thanks to Shane for those two events and the effort that he's put in so far. Another friend from university, Early, is completing a 72-hour golf challenge. And my old colleague and boss from my time at GSK, Ken Van Sommeren, is cycling the circumference of Ireland, which is over 2,000 miles in 7 days. So a crazy event, and again he's kindly offered to do that to raise money for myself and the family. So thank you, Ken, and looking forward to seeing how those events go. There are other events as well planned that are coming to sort of fruition. I don't want to go into detail yet because some of them haven't been finalised in terms of dates, but watch this space. Keep looking at the events page on the All Pulled Together site. If you can get involved by going along to support, or by spreading the word, or by donating, please do. It is always very, very much appreciated. And finally, I also wanted to update you on our plans for the future around research and supporting other MND sufferers. As I've said from day one, this isn't just about me. Yes, I have my own needs and requirements, but I want to make sure that the lives of MND sufferers all over the world can be helped and supported by some of the work that I can do. So I'm delighted to announce that we've established a relationship with the Atlantic Technological University in Letterkenny in Ireland to fund and lead some postgraduate research study to start to characterise some of the lifestyle factors linked to MND. So trying to understand more about sleep patterns, activity patterns, diet, mental well-being, and a number of kind of areas such as cognitive performance as well, to really track and see if we can start to get any patterns that emerge that will start to inform some interventions and some sort of medical interventions moving forward. So early stages, but the plan is to be able to fund a master's student by the end of the year and to get them on the way with a study next year, working with MND sufferers in the UK and Ireland. That will avail of some of the technology that my own company, ART Health Solutions, uses. It's our Omics wellbeing and performance app that the business has kindly offered to allow All Pulled Together to use. So that will be fantastic to be able to collect that sort of data, linked with wearable data, and to really just start to build a bank of research. And what we're going to do is build a platform on the All Pulled Together website in the coming weeks and months that will have any research that we undertake, but also any resources and research that exists that I've managed to come across, and details of organisations such as the Body Science Clinic. So anyone suffering from MND can access it in one place really easily and actually understand that this is evidence-based. This has been found by people like myself who've spent many hours researching the internet to try and save them the time and effort of having to do it themselves, because it's not an easy task. You end up going around in circles, and I just want to try and make people's lives easier, but also to give them some hope that whilst there may not be a cure, there are things that we can do to actually make a difference to our own lives. We can take control of the situation. We can slow the progression of our symptoms. In some cases, we can reverse those symptoms, but it's not easy. And if I can provide some information, some research, and start to get people from the medical world to take notice of some of this information and to start building that into the advice and support that they give their patients, then I think we'll then start to develop a much better strategic plan to fight this disease, because we need to work together with the medical community who are doing great work in clinical trials, and there's lots of stuff coming out of America at the moment which is showing some real positive results. But this fight is one that can be won, but it needs everyone pulling in the same direction, and if we can play a small part in that, then I'll be delighted with where we can get to. I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for your support, and please take care of yourself and each other, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Thanks.